Invincibles don't fancy losing that tag anytime soon. That is clear from the way they have started this season. Just the 50 domestic matches unbeaten are Celtic on the back of last Saturday's 4-1 win against Hearts, and that 5-0 side. Partick Thistle have been busy in the transfer market today, and Connor Salmon straight into the side on loan from Hearts. Chris Doolan returns, much to the delight of the Jags fans. Bannigan a starter, and now 8 changes for Celtic Tuesday, another 8 tonight. It's probably simpler to tell you that this is just one person away from the lineup which started against Hearts last weekend. No Griffiths, he's on the bench. Johnny Hayes is a starter.
Well, it's a big night for the home side. They haven't been successful here against Celtic in the last couple of seasons. Can they impose their game on the champions tonight? It's a big ask. Salmon on the left-hand side, Lawless on the right-hand side. They have to give them energy in the wide areas.
Yeah, and for Celtic, the big talking point is that central midfield area alongside Scott Brown. The champ gets the nod over Stuart Armstrong. He'll try and stake a claim for the big game next week against Astana and Forest up top.
Alan Archibald's team, as they were one of only 4 sides last season to take any points from Celtic. That 1-1 draw at Celtic Park back in April, when Adi Aziz, no longer with the club, scored the equaliser. Partick Thistle will get us started. Last season they achieved their highest league position since 1981, finishing in the top 6. They failed to win after that, but job done by that stage as Connor Salmon looks to make an early impact for his new team and maybe offer up the sort of opportunities that Thistle. Scott Sinclair fouled. Free kick conceded, a needless one as well, you would think, with barely a minute gone.
A bit of a silly one, that, Rob, from Niall Keown. Sinclair facing his own goal. Just gives Celtic a chance to load it in, but they elect to take it short.
Alan Booth's going to need a little bit of help.
Tierney again. Forrest playing that central role. And that's another needless foul conceded. Stephen Lawless, the offender this time. Just another chance to get the ball in the box.
And the last one went short. Bit on Surinovic not going forward, so you think this will be short again. You surprised they're not loading a couple into the box, Stephen?
I am. You know, when you're dominating the ball so much and you're being patient all the time, every opportunity try and put it in the box.
Tierney's on the move. A ricochet, which looked for a moment as if it might do Thistle a spot of harm. Olivier Incham. Tierney looks to muscle his way beyond Lawless and does. Useful ball in, and well positioned at the near post was Niall Keown.
Yeah, good driving run from Tierney. That's a couple of times. Just been too sharp for Stephen Lawless.
Turning away from Adam Barton was Incham. Nobody there for the cross for Celtic. Booth sent it away, and that's Ryan Edwards, scorer of a spectacular strike in Perth Tuesday night. Edwards doesn't go Thistle in Perth. Celtic with plenty in reserve tonight. Stuart Armstrong and Tom Rogic are among the subs.
Yeah, and you wonder just what is going through Stuart Armstrong's mind at the moment. Needs to get his head right and do his talking on the pitch.
He was much more influential his last term with the club. Will Celtic look to sell one of their prize assets? Over the top for Sinclair. He's in behind Elliott. Can he create something here? Forrest with his back to goal. Good save, Tierney, and it's hooked away by Barton. It was a good turn and strike from Forrest. And Cherney's reflexes tested early on. Forrest again looks to create for Lustig. And this time it's Callum Booth who's well positioned to get rid of that.
Yeah, really good save. What a beautifully weighted pass from Kieran Tierney. He started this game really well. Sinclair gets his head up. Forrest does well. Snapshot. Sharp save.
Lustig's pass wayward. Stumble though, lets in Olivier Ncham. It's Forrest and he's turned it wide. What an opportunity to get the opening goal on 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can see the look on James Forrest's face. Ncham did really well. Nicks the ball in midfield. Barton dallies on it as it's popped out. Forrest, that's a shot. I don't think that's a cross. Going for that far corner.
Ball. Busting run from Brown. It's McGregor. It's a great challenge. Really good bit of defending from Turnbull.
I'd just like to see Scott Sinclair in those positions when he's driving with the ball, take the man on the outside. I don't think he's had a great start to this season for Celtic. Brilliant as he was last season.
I think you're right. You know, he's played too safe too often. You know, when he first came here at the start of last season, everyone spoke about his intensity in his play, his directness in his play. I think that's drifted a little bit away from him. He has to get on the ball, be positive, and try and be more of a creator.
Here goes Turnbull. And Edwards made the little darting run. And it was a terrific challenge from Shimunovic, which swept the ball clear. But these are promising moments for Thistle.
A really good spell for Thistle, making some passes.
Moving the ball well.
Not sure if that was a tea cake or not, but it was a hunk of chocolate.
Johnny Hartson, he used to have them regularly, Rob.
Yeah, a lot more than that I seem to recall. He tucked away through the first half, and the scoreline is still goalless. Forrest, neat turn. This is McGregor. Was there a tug at his shirt from Stuart Bannigan? There certainly was, and this is almost directly in front of goal.
Yeah, I thought there was a free kick. McGregor gets his body in really well on that half turn there. Just that little tug back from Bannigan, and this is a good chance.
It wasn't high on subtlety, was it, from Stuart Bannigan? Vicinity as well. No Lee Griffiths in the conversation, of course, at the moment for Celtic. He's on the bench. It's beat on, and it's beat on away by Thomas Cherney, flying across his goal.
I tell you what, generates really good pace up and over the wall. I think it's one Cherney should save. In all fairness, not right in the corner.
That one. But Celtic can keep the pressure on here with Sinclair's corner kick. Turnbull's header! Deflection on the shot from Ncham. And is it Scott Brown's goal, I wonder? The deflection beat the Partick Thistle goalkeeper. Well, Ncham is claiming it, but did that go in off the skipper?
Well, it may well have done, but what a strike from Ncham. That's a really tough technique. It's going on target. I think Scott Brown gets a little touch. Does it come off his arm? It's a terrific strike from Ncham. A little touch from Brown. Just enough to put Cherney off. Cherney steamed out of his goal. I think he wanted an offside.
I think it was Christy Elliott that might have played him up.
Ncham. Forrest. Good work from Niall Keown. He just wouldn't let Forrest go, and that's Hayes. Did well to find Forrest. Lustig. Callum McGregor looking for a glimmer of a chance. Might get another one.
I'll tell you what, Keown did terrifically well there.
The 1-2, and Tierney's in. Callum Booth with the saving header. but the danger might not yet be over. It's Hayes and Forrest, and good work from Connor Salmon, and that's a decent pass as well for Stuart Bannigan. Oh, too much on that from Bannigan. Christy Elliott just thumps it hopefully downfield. Well, Ryan Edwards is penalised for that challenge on Brown.
I think he's a little bit unlucky there, Rob. He's unhappy, Ryan Edwards. Scott Brown just dwelling on the ball. There was a little clip, in fairness.
Maybe in your book that's okay. Dome getting that clear of the Thistle penalty box. Back in it comes from Lustig, and the flashing header just too high. Scott Brown.
Well, nearly his second goal of the night, dare I say. But this one, Scott Brown, does mean he's unlucky, and he gets up really well. Trying to guide it in to that far corner.
Forrest. So much interchangeability as Celtic go forward. That was Hayes with the shot pretty much down the throat of Czerny.
Yeah, Hayes in off the line on the half turn. Comfortable for Czerny.
The knockdown from Abdullah. Maybe he's already planning for midweek in his little notebook. It's Celtic Astana from 7 to HD and 4K UHD. This is Thistle's first corner kick of the match, 7 minutes away from half-time. In from Bannigan, lots of altitude, and that allowed Lustig to head the ball clear, and that's a foul on Hayes.
That's right. I have to say, I feel that Thistle have a chance from set pieces. They've got to get that delivery right. I think they've got the size on Celtic. They're really important not to waste those opportunities. You see a foul on Johnny Hayes.
When that's your first corner kick and you're heading for half-time, you really want to do a bit better than that, I think. And that's Brown. Kicked in by Hayes. Real determination.
Lawless, you know, Alan Archibald wants Stephen Lawless as high as he possibly can on this right-hand side, but because Christy Elliott is following Sinclair, Lawless has to do the dirty work, and he's getting himself isolated at right back.
It's Callum Booth with the throw in, aimed at Salmon.
Haven't you? That's his strength. He's not a tricky winger, Stephen.
No, he's not, but I think he's not a bad football player. I don't think he...
Impacted him against County Thistle. Miles Story, but not so in the northeast.
There he goes, one ahead at Salmon. But I like the signing of Story. They've got different options now. Up top.
Lawless looks to get more involved. Here is Salmon with a chance to create something. Cross-blocked by Lustig. And the game quickly swings in the other direction. Hayes to Sinclair, and suddenly the hooped shirts are flooding forward. Tierney to goal scorer Ncham. Thistle doing at the moment, but just the one goal in it. Sinclair and Tierney know each other's games so well. The cut back from Kieran Tierney, no one there for Celtic. Ryan Edwards was there for Partick.
Then 1v1, so you know, Stephen Lawless so far at the minute is struggling to cope with him.
Certainly a big asset for Celtic on field, and there will be plenty of admirers off-field as well of what he can do and what he will do in the future, having just turned 20. From Turnbull, one out for Edwards. Lustig's challenge. And they've lost it. And Champ, Sinclair. Again, jinking his way inside. That's for McGregor. And with quick feet, he works it wide for Tierney. Sinclair with the looping header, looping up into the gloves of Thomas Tierney.
No real pace loss, was it? Sinclair. And that's the drive on the outside. Sinclair just slightly hesitant.
It's that old familiar feeling, Celtic in charge. And Olivier Ncham with his first goal for the club, a rasping right foot volley from outside the penalty box. Took a little deflection on its way past Thomas Tierney, and that is the goal which separates these sides halfway through at Firhill. We'll be hearing from Ali McCoist and Jackie McNamara their thoughts on the first half with Darryl. Half-time Friday night at Firhill. Partick Thistle 0, Celtic 1. To pick up maximum points and maintain this also impressive domestic unbeaten run. The good news for Partick Thistle is that they've only conceded that one goal so far.
Yeah, that can't be Ncham's goal. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. And there we have Ali McCoist at half-time, someone who claimed other people's strikes, saying it was.
Yeah, he didn't need to be in the vicinity to claim it.
So that's Ali's first ever goal for Celtic.
They were certainly both smiling at the time, Ncham and Brown, as the little on the move Callum Booth. Early ball in, and well up for the header was Chris Doolan. He hangs in the air well, but it's not a problem for Craig Gordon.
Yeah, a couple of nice passes. That's difficult to score from the penalty spot. Again.
And he'll want another goal or two sooner rather than later, the Celtic manager, just to remove any doubt about the outcome. And he doesn't want to pick up any injuries in the process of tonight, that's for sure. And you know, he's taken a knock, and he has on the side of the head by the looks of it when he stays down, Tierney, because generally if he's able to, he bounces straight back up. It was an elbow from Doolan.
Yes, it was. And it's always going to be a worry. We spoke about the risk of Shimunovic playing tonight, but Tierney as well.
And is handed straight back. Tierney threatening again. He might go all the way. Kieran Tierney! And he just about squeezed that inside the
chance. Thistle, they have to take it. Doolan, he sees it all the way. If he hits the target from that range,
himself into the ideal position, and it could be a double whammy for Thistle because it's Celtic on the attack. That's Tierney getting a second attempt, and that's an important block to keep him out.
Yeah, you're quite right, Rob. That could have been a double whammy. You get a chance like that against Celtic, you've got to take it. Huge moment.
Elliott with the interception. $8,041 in Saga. That's Edwards, good work from him. Lost out to Brown. Tierney again scampering down the side. Ncham looking for the little darting run from Johnny Hayes there. Thistle look to respond with Story. Trying to power his way through. Good work here, Beaton. Waited his moment and nicked the ball away. And this is McGregor and Hayes. And a good challenge again from Jordan Turnbull.
McGregor saying, what's that for? Turnbull just gets a touch there. Keown again. So just in front of McGregor.
King position and right on cue. Here comes Celtic's number 9.
Yeah, and Brendan will be aware that this is a little bit of a risk. He'll want to give Lee Griffiths some game time. He'll want to put this game to bed as well. Be concentrating on the 3 points tonight.
So Callum McGregor off, Tom Rogic on. There is no good news for Partick Thistle. He scored his first Celtic goal against Partick Thistle almost exactly 2 years ago. And it's the end of the match for Johnny Hayes as well. And Lee Griffiths will be looking to make it 5 goals in a week. And dangerous on the counter is Tom Rogic. And look at the movement up ahead from Griffiths. Lee Griffiths knocks it back into the middle for Rogic. And it's well defended.
It was well defended. The subs combining well. Good little burst from Lee Griffiths and Rogic trying to make that run across the near post.
Again, it was Turnbull. Celtic looking to hunt down a second goal, but not like that. And from 5, Brighton against Manchester City. Cutting inside, Sinclair. No way through for James Forrest.
No, it's not, but I'm just saying it's an unusual style for them. So them having to adapt in this kind of game makes it difficult.
James Forrest back in familiar territory, and that's Tom Rogic letting go with his left foot, and it was always on the swear the group stages of the Champions League. Change of pace from Sinclair. This is Griffiths. In goes Callum Booth against James Forrest. He just hesitated, Forrest, and that allowed Booth to get the ball clear. Beaton puts his head on it, and Scott Brown. In the 70th minute, Griffiths corner kick, and it was Shiminovic with a header. And off the line from Callum Booth. Salmon leaves it to Booth again to drive that clear.
Did Booth start?
With Keogh. Power and pace from Forrest, and a yellow card for Stuart Bannigan.
Yeah, there's a couple of challenges there, but
it was subtle from Erskine, it wasn't from Bannigan. And they've got themselves inside the last 20 minutes, only a goal down, Partick Thistle. Shiminovic on the charge, deflection.
He's no Van Dijk when he comes out with the ball. He just keeps going. And he thinks, I might as well hit one.
It's Lee Griffiths with the corner kick, booming in at the back post. Needed dealt with, and Keown was the man again.
He does well, he's got his man. More importantly, he watches the ball as well.
I just think Miles' stories give Shiminovic and Beaton something else to think about. You know, they're wary now from running in behind. The game's become a little bit more stretched. Just encourages Thistle.
Free kick given against Jozo Shiminovic.
Well, Edwards wants a booking for that, but I think Shiminovic, the intention was to play the ball, Stephen.
I just think when you see it there, and he's...
Brendan Rodgers has other ideas, and he hopes Stuart Armstrong might be the man to just put this game beyond Partick Thistle. Well, was it his goal? Was it Scott Brown's goal? Do they care? Probably not. Off goes Ncham.
It's a wonderful strike. Really good technique. Eyes on the ball, but I'm afraid, for me, it's Scott Brown's goal.
For the first time and maybe the last time, Chris, I agree with you.
Threat which Miles Story, that option that he gives Thistle.
As the game becomes stretched, Forrest races forward. Rugged! Well, the net rustles, but it's gone wide.
It's got to go across the goalkeeper there. Good driving run from Forrest. See Rogic at the top of the picture, just hanging out. He takes that touch. I think he slices that. Lee Griffiths, hands in the air.
Wogic on the attack. Sinclair. Tierney on the overlap. Griffiths. And, well, there must have been a shout there to Lee Griffiths from James Forrest, who was racing in behind.
Not so sure that's the best ball again from Sinclair. Tierney adjusting his feet, just won't fall for Griffiths.
It's actually a great...
All in that little scrum. And that's dangerous from Salmon, and it's off the line again from Callum Booth, this time from his teammate. Well, it's in the back of the net from Brown. It's definitely Brown's goal, and that one counted, but it's not going to count.
Some strike that from Scott Brown. And assist. Oh, that may be slightly harsh.
Well, the way things stand, they're getting nothing from the game. It's worth a press of the gamble button, you would say. Free kick given against Kieran Tierney.
I think he'll be lucky to get away with this.
The foul on Edwards, and that's going to be yellow for Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, I think he knew what he was doing there, Kieran Tierney. Edwards got the run on him. Little karate move or judo move.
Well, obviously we see the booking, Chris, you're right. Alan
Thistle. Will they have it, or did? Possession didn't last for long. Here's Armstrong. Over the top of Booth. Forrest chasing. And that's going to be a corner kick.
I'll tell you what though, Thistle have had a couple of rotten free kicks, haven't they? On that side.
Well, initially Andrew Dallas gave a corner kick. And it's been changed to a goal kick.
Overruled.
Edwards launches it. Salmon's flick. Beaton almost caught out as he took a touch with Miles Story in close attendance. And that front two pairing for the home team almost paying off there.
Yeah, good knockdown. Beaton got a little bit lucky with his first touch.
Story's given it away. Armstrong. Options either side. It's Lee Griffiths. It's a great block. Niall Keown was the man.
That's brilliant from Keown. Really is. Griffiths gets his shot off. Keown throws his body on the line.
Up went Beaton. Salmon as well. That's Edwards. It was behind Story, and Beaton gets himself in the big bother there. Craig Gordon was coming for it. The big centre-back took it away. And that was a communication breakdown which could have been costly.
Well, I'll tell you what, my first impression was Beaton was really lucky to get away with that. I don't know whether the Story goes down too easily, but there was contact.
Certainly, you're right. First instinct was it a penalty kick?
Well, that's a big decision inside stoppage time at the end of this match. Sinclair has options in the middle, but he would rather take the ball for a walk to the corner flag.
What an enormous moment that was. Beaton, a makeshift centre-half. What's going on there?
Well, Niall Keown in his desperation to get to the ball there had to kick at the corner flag. But what about this?
Well, he takes a touch. It's sloppy, but that left leg of Beaton, I think he catches Miles Story just there.
Penalty kick, isn't it, Chris?
brings him down. Should be a penalty, should have been a penalty.
It looks like a great escape for Near Beaton. An awkward, clumsy challenge, making contact with Miles Story. And a ball he probably shouldn't have been taking anyway because the goalkeeper had come off his line for it. Big decision for Andrew Dallas, and it's gone Celtic's way.
Well, you just wonder, that's the warning signs for Astana, isn't it? Someone playing out of position in such a huge game for the football club.
I'd be surprised if Brendan didn't start him against Astana, because if Christopher Raya, he had him in his mind, he would have started him tonight. There's a couple of occasions. There was a through ball earlier where Bitton took a touch, very casual. He takes a touch here, thinks he's in control, but Story just gets there. That left leg of Bitton brings Story down.
You think maybe the theatrical dive or the theatrical tumble might have put Andrew Dallas off?
I think video evidence might have sorted that out. But it's almost all over at Far Hill. It is now. Celtic win again. But what a controversial moment right at the death, as Brendan Rodgers' team makes it 6 points out of 6 to start this title defence. The man in the middle there, Andrew Dallas, and his officials had a big shout to make at the end. And Near Beaton will breathe a huge sigh of relief that a penalty wasn't given against him after Olivier Incham had scored with the aid of a nick off the skipper. Scott Brown had sent a rasping effort past Thomas Cherney, and it is the goal which decides the game. Chris Doolan missed a great opportunity to